Okay, good morning. It's from Tom's desk, and what I'm going to do is something a little different here. I'm sitting at the marina. I don't know if that's a public boat or a private boat over there. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it. Something I'll find out about. Having been here going on 10 months, I haven't really done a big learn about everything. As a matter of fact, today I was at the library for the first time. It's quite nice, rather interesting, much more modern, because everything's computerized now and everything's all that. But yeah, a bit about Florida, because I haven't talked about it, and this is where I've spent most of my time the last 10 months, except for trips up to DC. It's roads like Route 19 that heads north and south all the way into St. Petersburg, and once you get north of suburb up here, it's not so much a separated highway. It's a road with stoplights and all that. And the other one I recently traveled on is Route 17. But then roads like the road that runs from Tampa Bay out here to the Gulf of Mexico in Clearwater, it's like mile after mile after mile of strip malls and restaurants and places that sell stuff and all of that. And it's something I just not really, I find rather amazing. One of the great things down here is grocery stores. Publix seems, and that's P-U-B-L-I with an X on the end, seems to be one of the main ones. And they're very good, with a number of exceptions. Pork here has no taste, and chicken here has no taste, because in general it's all, farm raised and full of chemicals and steroids, or so it seems. And it's just, they're huge. I mean, a chicken breast can feed, well, a few people in the rest of the world. And here in fruit, I bought fruit that never seems to ripen. Luckily, I'm finding my way, or I've been finding my way to a number of produce stands, I guess, for lack of a better word. And some of those, if you could buy things singly, which you can at some of these places, it makes it like I bought tangerines. And some places they're terribly, you've got to buy them by the, couple pounds in a package, and it's quite a bother. And then food-wise, going and buying, I've tried the organic chicken, and I've tried organic things, and they still, I don't know if it's the breed of the animal or what it is, but they don't have any taste. Another thing recently is it's winter down here, and years ago when I was in Needles, California, I would, the snowbirds, what we call the snowbirds, came down from Canada and the north in the wintertime, and sort of, but nothing compared to what I saw the other day coming back. I mean, huge ghettos of recreational vehicles, and these big, huge, they're homes on wheels. And people, I don't know what they do all winter. I guess some of these people, what they were saying is, they've been coming to the same place for years. And they just sort of moved the neighborhood down to Florida for a few months to escape and I mean, they've got everything, I mean, it's more than I ever had in a house before, with microwaves and ovens and stoves and freezers and satellite television and all of that kind of stuff. But anyhow, I just thought I'd talk a bit about Florida. I'm still, the internet here is still, I'm rather amazed that 3G, you can't just go anywhere and you get it with your carrier wherever you go. That's a bit of a bother. It's more than a bit of a bother. And then stuck, you have to use, if you don't know where you're going, you have to use something like Garmin. And all the Garmin stuff I've found, I'm not very pleased with, because at least the Google lady gives me a choice of routes. Whereas once you set up Garmin, if you say you don't want to take a tollway or you want to go by the quickest, so it's really a bit of a pain in the neck. But anyhow, it's sort of coming up on 10 months. I don't know what's going to happen. I would like to get back to Thailand here shortly for at least a few months, but it's a matter of seeing what's going on. You know, another thing about America, I've got to admit, everything is quite clean. And the state park system down here in Florida, which I guess I'll close with, if you're a disabled veteran and you have your VA card that shows your service-connected disabled, you get into all the parks free. Even though the parks are quite reasonably priced, because they're priced by, you know, if you've got 6 people in the car or 6 people in your family, you only pay once, whereas places like Thailand, even if you're paying Thai rates, you're paying by the individual. So in a lot of cases, for families, visiting the state parks in Florida are much more economic than even if a Thai took your kids someplace. But anyhow, that's about 5 minutes. So that's sort of this Tom's Desk, from Tom's Desk, about Florida from here in Clearwater. Y'all take care. Bye.